and welcome to this Commonwealth Games podcast. My name is Mark Atkinson, Head of Sport, and today we're going to preview the opening weekend of the 2026 Games in Glasgow. I'm joined by our writers Graham Bean and Lewis Anderson, who are going to be the main people on the ground for the Scotsman for this event. Of course, the opening ceremony happened on Thursday night, and while there was a little bit of action that took place, Friday is the main day of sport, and then we have the weekend as well. Graham, Lewis, good morning. Graham, I'll come to you first. Did you watch the opening ceremony last night?
Morning, Mark. Yes, I watched it. Yes, interesting night. Yeah, it was some good stuff there. They're always quite bizarre, these opening ceremonies, aren't they? But good fun. Good fun. And an indoor ceremony was breaking new ground, I suppose.
Absolutely. Lewis, did you raise a smile when you saw royalty come out of the TARDIS?
I'm not sure I'd go that far, Mark, but I actually quite enjoyed the opening ceremony, I must admit. It was something a bit different. It was a nice kind of paying homage towards Glasgow. I thought there was a lot of kind of unique, quirky wee elements in there. Enjoyed it a lot. Live music, I must say, I thought it was well put together.
And you mentioned the word different there, Lewis. And these games are different to normal Commonwealth Games. They are slimmed down. Glasgow stepped in late on to save them after Australia pulled away from being the hosts. And as a result, people might feel that it's a lighter version than what we had 12 years ago in Glasgow. That's probably fair, but we shouldn't let that detract away from what could be a really exciting, exhilarating week and a half or so of sport across the city. Certain events don't kick off until next week, but what we do have over the next couple of days is some pretty impressive action, not least in the swimming. And I'm going to come to you, Graham, on that, because I think you're going to be pretty much based at the pool for the next couple of days. Talk us through what people can look forward to at the swimming over the next couple of days.
Yeah, swimming begins today at Tollcross, so that should be really good. Apparently the atmosphere in 2014 was amazing, almost to the roof off. And tonight we've got Duncan Scott going in the pool, defending his 200 metre individual medley title that he won in Birmingham 4 years ago. So I think that's the highlight tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. That should be great. I think he's second in the pool of the evening session. So that should really get the crowd going, and I think something to really look forward to.
Of course, Duncan Scott's one of the headline names, you would say, in Team Scotland. A lot of people are expecting big things from him, but there are other swimmers involved, of course. Graham, you did a fascinating interview with Archie Goodburn, who's got quite the story to tell. Just let our listeners have a wee flavour of his tale.
Yeah, Archie's a great guy. He's from Edinburgh. Swam at the last Commonwealth Games, but in between, he's diagnosed with brain cancer. He's got this incurable tumour. Fortunately, the growth of it has slowed now, thanks to some medication he's taking. But he's a phenomenal person. He's just graduated with a first class honours degree in chemical engineering. He's kept his swimming going throughout the difficult times he's had. And he'll be going up against Adam Peaty in the pool in the next few days. He's a sprint swimmer, so it's just one length, 50 metres breaststroke, splash and dash, he calls it. But he targeted a medal. He's making no bones about it. It's a medal he wants, and if he were to achieve that after everything he's gone through, it would be quite incredible, really.
Yeah, as you say, an incredible tale. Lewis, you were speaking to a former Commonwealth Games swimmer, Michael Jamieson, in the build-up to the tournament, and he was talking, I would say, in quite glowing terms about Scotland's medal prospects in the pool. What do we think would be a reasonable haul from the swimmers over the next couple of days?
Well, I think the way Michael was very kind of bullish about the chances of us winning a fair few medals in the swimming. I think a realistic goal would potentially be maybe 5 or 6 medals. Would that be a push to say? I think there's a lot of talent there. completely assembled. We've got a lot of youngsters making their debut as well, which is going to be really fascinating to see how they get on, because there's always kind of one surprise package, isn't there, that kind of takes the world by storm. So intriguing to see who that breakout star might be. But there's a lot of household names in there that will certainly go in as favourites for their events. I think Ingrid Evans, who's obviously current world number one, will have a massive chance to kind of rubber stamp her standing as the best in the world at this moment in time. She's the only female that's gone under one. Well, I think one of the few, I should say, it's gone under 1 minute 5 so far. And the one I'm really intrigued to see is Katie Shanahan, who's relatively local. She's obviously born and bred in Glasgow, has been training out of Tollcross. She has been gradually kind of working her way up the ranks, got her first kind of breakthrough year, if you like, at Birmingham in 2022, winning medals there. So intrigued to see if she can kind of elevate herself to that next level.
It's not just about swimming. We've started off with that because that's probably the headline event over the weekend. But one of the great things with the Commonwealth Games is that you have some sports that you wouldn't normally see. Graham, before the swimming, tell us where you're off to today.
Yes, I'm going to the Armadillo to see the para powerlifting, which I think will be the first medal that's awarded at the Games. So that's something I've never seen before, so it should be interesting. There's a couple of Scots involved in the first session, which is the sort of lightweight session. Hope Gordon, who I spoke to before the Games, she's from a little place called Rogart up in Sutherland near Galsby, and she's a fascinating athlete. She's only took up as power lifting a few months ago. She's actually a canoeist, and a really successful canoeist. She won an Paralympic medal at Paris a couple of years ago. And then she sort of pivoted into skiing for a bit and went to the Winter Paralympics and competed in that as well. So this is her third different sport. She says she does a lot of bench press training for canoeing. So that's basically what the powerlifting is. So, but she had to sort of change her technique and stuff. But she's going into this kind of, with very little experience of it. But she's hopeful of doing something good. It could even be Scotland's first medal of these Games.
That could be quite the story if she does deliver that for us. Lewis, you're off to an event which won't have medals just yet, but it's fair to say the 3x3 basketball isn't something you see every day in Glasgow.
You can say that again, Mark. It's going to be quite unique. It's arguably one of the kind of most fast-paced sports, I think, on the programme this year. Scotland are in action this morning. It'll be early afternoon by the time they're on. They're playing Guyana. This afternoon we've got a mixture of normal basketball, and we've also got the wheelchair basketball as well taking place in between. So it's going to be a really fascinating morning. Kind of relatively short, sharp nature of the games. I think they're only about 10-15 minutes in length. Teams comprised of 4 players. So I presume there'll be an opportunity to kind of have some rolling substitutions if need be in game. But that takes place at the SEC this morning, 10 o'clock starts. Looking forward to that. We kick off with New Zealand against Australia, which is obviously a bit of a rivalry in the men's section, and then some tasty contests throughout the course of the morning. So really looking forward to it.
Brilliant. We should mention across the weekend, loads of sports. I'm heading along to the netball over the weekend. I know we've also got boxing taking place. There's also the bowls, where we have one of our flag bearers, Alec Marshall, taking part. Essentially, guys, it's a real feast of sport, and something that we really should embrace over the next 7 to 10 days. Graham, if you could, we'll sign off. I know you've got to head through to Glasgow. It's one thing about these games is it's a pretty arduous schedule. Starts early, finishes late. If you could tell me, Graham, if there's one athlete over the next 10 days across any sport that you're most looking forward to watching, who would that be?
Josh Kerr, I think, in the mile. He's coming into these games as a new world record holder at the mile. That's a record that stood for 27 years. He broke that last weekend in London. Phenomenal run, and I think he's just a fascinating guy, and he's going to be up against Jake Whiteman, Neil Gurley, two excellent Scottish runners. But I think the mile will be a real event. It's next Saturday. It's the final event of the athletics programme at Scotston. That's the one I'm looking forward to most, I think.
And Lewis, I'll ask you a slightly different question. Out of all the sports we've got taking place in Glasgow over the next few while, which one are you most looking forward to watching?
Weightlifting. Weightlifting, actually, is. I've always kind of had a fascination around weightlifting, particularly as an avid gym goer myself. So it'll be intriguing to kind of watch it up close. I think the kind of name that I'm most looking forward to seeing as well is Emily Campbell, who had a kind of really positive breakthrough year. She's represented Team England, I must say, at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. So it'll just be quite a spectacle, I think, to watch it up close. Looking forward to that.
Brilliant. We'll have podcasts every day from the start of next week. Once the athletics kicks off, we'll be teaming up with our title Athletics Weekly. We'll have loads of coverage across the Scotsman in print, digital, video and socials. Stick with us, we'll have it all for you. But for now, we better head off to the events ourselves. From myself, Graham and Lewis, thank you very much for joining us and enjoy the 2026 Commonwealth Games with us.